All right, you've bought yourself a UHF and you want to know how to install it, you've come to the right video. Today we're going through and installing a Uniden UHF. You're going camping, you might be touring around, you're sick of using a little handheld, so you want to install a proper setup, and we're going to show you how we do it. We're installing this today in my dad's four-wheel drive. He's got a Musso. You see him in a lot of videos that we normally do. He's been using the little handheld ones. It's been doing the job for the time being, but getting a proper one on there today. The usual components will be a controller, the handpiece, and obviously the antenna as well. All right, with your install, there's a couple of things you want to think about before you get stuck into things. You want to think about where your antenna's going, so whether that's on your bull bar if you have one, under your bonnet, or if you've got a single or a dual cab ute with a tray or a canopy, maybe you can find a spot to mount it there as well. You also want to have a think about where you're going to mount the hand controller inside the cab. You want it as close to the driver as possible so you can adjust the settings when necessary, but you also want to mount your receiver. These little units are quite small and compact, and they'll usually come with a mounting bracket of some description, a couple of little screws. If you're not shy about it, you can screw it into your interior panels, or you can use some double-sided tape to mount it properly. Once you've thought about those things and identified where you want to put them, the next main thing you need to think about is how you're going to feed your wiring from your control unit through the vehicle and up to either your battery or an accessories point in the car. So that's another thing to think about, is whether you want the unit to run directly off the power of your battery, which means if you leave it on, it can drain your battery, or if you want it to run off an accessories point where the unit only turns on when your car is on accessories. And finally, you need to think about how you're going to mount your cable from your UHF antenna through to the control unit inside the cab of the car. So first step, where do you want to mount the UHF? Well, I've been chatting with my dad just trying to work out exactly where he wants this, and there's a couple of places that we were considering. Originally we were thinking on the passenger side here, but we've come to the conclusion that the best spot's going to be here on the driver's side, so he can easily reach the unit if he needs to, and then also mount the receiver right near it there. We're going to mount that first, and once that's in place, we can then route the wire from the aerial through to this, and also the wiring from this through to the power source. To mount this unit in here, we're drilling into the plastics on the inside of the car. There's a couple of tiny screws that come with this, so we've got a little tiny drill bit to get it started and not make a mess of it. Once you've got the screws in there and the bracket can go in, the unit can easily slot in space. From there, you want to move on to mounting your receiver. Most UHFs will probably come with some double-sided tape, usually 3M, that'll allow you to fit the hand receiver, but there's also the option to screw it in if you like. So for this one, we've just used the 3M tape and might screw it in later once we know it's 100% where we want it. So next, we're going to mount up the antenna on this thing here. You'll either have a bracket supplied with your antenna, or you might have to buy one separately to suit your setup. So we've got an extra one here that's going to go onto this bull bar, and then you can set your antenna up to mount on that spot. Once your antenna's mounted, you want to navigate your wiring through the grill all the way through to the part of the firewall that you're going to feed through to the inside of the car, making sure that it's not resting on any hot surfaces or going to get it caught in the way of any belts, fans, or any moving parts. It's also a good idea as you go along to cable tie it in place so that it's not moving on the body. And another tip is to make sure that you're not coiling up your antenna, because it will cause distortion. While we're here feeding through the cable from the antenna, because we're planning to put the power lead through the same hole in the firewall, what we're going to think about doing is taping it to the lead that we've just fed through, and then feed it back through while still keeping a length of the cable inside the cab, and then we don't have to try and navigate it through there. Hoping that's going to work. We also think we're probably going to have to lengthen this, but it's going to make things a lot easier doing it this way. So in the case of this Uniden unit, we found that the supplied cable for the power was not long enough from the driver's side all the way through to the passenger side of the vehicle where the battery sits, so we've extended the wiring from that. Ideally, you want to add red wire for positive, black wire for negative. I've only got black wire sitting here, but next up, we're going to put some terminals on these wires and connect them up to the battery. Got the positive and negative cable fed through there now for the unit. They have been wired, soldered, heat shrunk, taped. Your positive, you want to go to a positive on your battery. And then for your negative, you want to find a nice little spot that earths out. So if you've got a factory earth like this one that we found here, that's perfect. So got a good little size terminal that'll go over the top there. That's going to go on there, tighten him up. Wires cut to length, which is perfect. And it's going to nip him up there. And that'll sit very nice and happy in there. There you go. All you gotta do then, positive, put him on there. Positive all connected there. Don't look at that, I didn't wire that. Close him up as best as you can. And then I'm just gonna do some little cable tying. Just keep that nice and neat. That might be the most professional looking thing I've ever installed. Last thing you have to do is connect up your antenna cable, then turn on your unit, test that it's working, and you're all done. Happy days. All right, give it a test, Dad.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4.
Working good.
Working fine.
All right, that is a job done. That is a quick little video on how to do a UHF install. Just a quick one to show that it's a short and easy job. It's something you can do at your home with basic tools and basic knowledge. Once again, we've gone with a Uniden UHF for this job, and it's looking pretty bloody awesome. I'm keen to go test it out on the road. If you found this video useful, give it a like. If you watched a few of my videos, give it a subscribe, you know, all that sort of stuff. So I want to thank my dad for coming and helping. Helping, being a support in that. So this is for his vehicle. I mentioned this at the start of the video. He comes camping with me all the time. We'll hopefully be going on some camping trips soon. We'll test this out and see how this goes. So hope this one's been helpful. Catch you next one.